What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Hotel Show with your boy Howard. I said we back with another video. Today we are getting into this madness with Diddy. Last night I think we all was like getting the tea that he had got arrested. And so last night they were stating that this morning that the documents were going to be unsealed and he was supposed to be officially indicted this morning. And as they stated, that is true. And so today, early this morning, it has been released. Sean Combs' indictment unsealed. He faces decades in prison if convicted on sex trafficking, racketeering, and other charges. He could also face up to 20 years in prison. So we're getting into that, y'all. For starters, if you are new here, kick off your shoes and get comfortable because we family. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Also, make sure that you have your notifications turned on so you can be notified whenever I drop another banger like this. And without further ado, are you ready? Let's get it.
Yes, I'm jaded. Most of the things I don't wanna say. I won't be around while you chase.
Now, I want to be very clear. The 14-page unsealed indictment, I got a copy of it and want to go through it myself because I don't want to be given very much misinformation. We are going to dissect this thing. We are going to go through this thing, all 14 pages. I'll try to go through them as quick as possible. But I want to make sure that my supporters, that baby, we dealing with the facts. Also, trigger warning. I want to put a trigger warning in this because I don't know what we about to read. I don't know. I do not know. I have not read it. I downloaded in my stuff, but I don't know. I haven't read it. So I just want to put a trigger warning because no telling what's in there. Hey, this is not about me tearing down a black man or kicking him when he down. It's never that because I'm not one of those people. However, I will say this. Any victims of sexual assault, stuff like any victims that have ever had to experience something like this and have never got the justice due, and to all of the women and the men, I want to make that very clear, the men as well, because allegedly this man has did some very hurtful things and caused some traumatic experiences and just journeys for a lot of men and women. This is their time to get the justice that they do so deserve and have been wanting. This is for them. Alright, so we're starting with document 1 from the first document, y'all. Count 1, racketeering conspiracy. The grand jury charges for decades Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on employees, resources, and influences of multiple faceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice. Wow. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant operated his business headquartered at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based corporate entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and Combs Global, collectively the Combs Business. Corporate entities in the Combs business included, among other things, record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, an alcoholic spirit business, a marketing agency, and a television network and media company. At all times relevant to his indictment, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, the defendant engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women and other individuals. The abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangement for women and commercial sex workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and violence. Physical abuse by Sean Combs, aka Pete Puff Daddy, the defendant, was recurrent and widely known on numerous occasions from at least in or about 2009 and continuing for years. Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects and kicking them. These assaults were at times witnessed by others and included one instance at a Los Angeles hotel in or about March 2016, which was captured on video and later publicly reported, where Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave. When a member of the hotel security staff intervened, Combs attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure silence. My God. Combs' violence was also not limited to these women. It extended to his employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others. Oh my God. Sean Combs, the defendant, used the Combs business, including certain employees, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse and commercial sex. Those employees, including security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and high-ranking supervisors and other close associates, acted as Combs' intermediaries, and their conduct was facilitated and assisted by Combs' control of Combs' business. The Combs enterprise. From at least in or about 2008 through on or about the date of the filing of this indictment, Sean Combs, aka Puff Diddy, P. Diddy, the defendant, and others known and unknown were members and associates of a criminal organization, the Combs Enterprise, or the Enterprise. Members and associates of the Combs Enterprise engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other activities, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation, for purposes of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, robbery, and obstruction of justice. The Combs Enterprise, including its leadership, its members, and its associates, constituted an enterprise as defined by Title 18, United States Code, Section 19614, that is a group of individuals associated. In fact, although not legal entity, the Combs Enterprise consisted of Sean Combs, Puff Diddy, P. Diddy, aka Diddy, P. Diddy, the defendant entities within the Combs business, including but not limited to Bad Boys Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and Combs Global. Individuals employed by and associated with the Combs business, and others known and unknown. Wow. Oh, Lord. The Combs Enterprise constituted an ongoing organization whose members function as a continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the objectives of the Combs Enterprise. The Combs Enterprise was engaged in and its activities affected interstate and foreign commerce. The Combs Enterprise operated in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. At all times relevant to this indictment, P. Diddy, the defendant, others known and unknown, participated in unlawful and other activities related to the conduct of Combs Enterprise affairs. These individuals included certain Combs business employees, such as members of Combs security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and high-ranking supervisors, as well as other close associates of Combs. Let me tell you something. That, for one, is, I feel like a lot of us are more kind of scared, not so much for him because we know he going down, but more so of who he about to take down with him. You know what I'm saying? That's the scary part, because, baby, somebody that have been in prison, I'd have been through this whole interrogation thing. I know how this stuff go. And I'm telling you now, I don't care how good you think you is with the game and how to play on these prosecutors and stuff, baby, I'm telling you, they have a way of breaking you down. And even when it may seem like you feel confident in knowing, like, y'all can't do what y'all saying y'all can do, like, baby, I'm telling you, when your back is against that wall, baby, you gonna just be thinking about what's better for, like, what is the best option for you, your family, yourself, like, in the long game. And that's where a lot of people get to really see that in them streets. A lot of that shit that they be talking in them streets, street code and all of that, baby, when they get in that cold room by themselves, even if they think they know this certain individual was so tough, baby, it don't go down like that. The only people that I can really say like that I can remember even reading about in prison, when I read the BMF family with the brothers, like, they held it down, like, from the beginning to the end, like, they really held that shit down. You know what I'm saying? They both got the same sentence, if I'm not mistaken. I read the book in prison like 2 times years ago, but when it came down, when they both got taken down, it was like they really held it down. But baby, 30 years apiece, like, no ma'am. And he facing 20 years, like, baby, you already in your 50s. Purposes of the Combs Enterprise. The purpose of the Combs Enterprise included the following: operating in a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industries, including, among other things, record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, an alcoholic spirits business, a marketing agency, and a television network, and a media company. Preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power, reputation, and brand of Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, the defendant, as a musician, entrepreneur, and figure in the entertainment industry. Enriching members and associates of the enterprise, including its leaders, Combs, in particular those who demonstrated loyalty to Combs and willingness to conceal his crimes. That's sick. All you MFers that was willing to conceal his crimes and cover up his mess. This is sick. Preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power of the Combs Enterprise, including the power of its leaders, Combs, through violence, use of firearms, threats of violence, coercion, verbal and emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. Y'all are monsters. Fulfilling the personal desires of Combs, particularly those related to Combs' sexual gratification, including through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial sex workers. This, y'all, just enabling Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise to engage in unlawful acts of violence, including sexual violence, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purpose of prostitution, coercion, enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics distribution, and other crimes, and concealing the commission of such acts, securing absolute loyalty from members of the Combs enterprise, including through acts of violence and threats, and protecting the Combs enterprise and its members and associates, including Combs, from detection and prosecution by law enforcement authorities through acts of intimidation, manipulation, bribery, and threats of retaliation against individuals who witnessed the crimes committed by members and associates of the enterprise. You nasty low-down MF. So you mean to tell me for even people that was probably wanting to come forth and even probably call y'all out for y'all wicked ways and the stuff that y'all are doing, y'all was willing to threat and scare them and put them in uncomfortable positions to where they felt threatened, probably threatening their families and stuff like that. If they did go and say, like, this is lower than low. This is the bottom of the barrel. Like, this is under the snake's bellies. Means and methods of enterprise. Among the means and methods by which Sean Combs, the defendant, and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise conducted and participated in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise, including the following. Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprises wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. How sick can you be? Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to as, among other things, freak-offs. Freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded and arranged. These freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across the state lines internationally. Freak-offs. First of all, wait. How is sex even that? Is sex that serious to y'all? Is that important? Like, to where y'all have to manipulate and drug and do all of this stuff, filmed and record. Y'all got to do all of this stuff and be willing to take it as far as across state lines. Like, is that serious? Baby, like, you're not even human at this point. None of y'all. Let me stay on course. Freak-offs occur regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes, unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. They poor bodies was just exhausted, just drained. Y'all just treating people like they just not human. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, you need to go down. Security staff, you need to go down. Household staff, you need to go down. Personal assistants, you need to go down. And other Combs business employees facilitated the freak. Your asses, all of y'all need to go down. Among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-off, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lightning, cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak-offs to try to mitigate room damage, arranging for travel for victims, commercial sex workers, and Combs to and from freak-offs, resupplying Combs and requested supplies, delivering large sums of cash to Combs to pay commercial sex workers, and scheduling the delivery of IV fluids in or about March 2024 during searches of Combs residencies in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. Law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Let me tell you something. Are you telling me, I want to make sure we are clear, are you telling me that facilitated the freak offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak off supplies, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linen, and lightning cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak offs to try to mitigate room damage, arranging for travel for victims? Are you telling me that y'all even had the hotel workers or people working in the hotel giving extra linen, making sure the rooms got baby oil and supplies, when they already got to clean these hotel rooms up regularly anyway? And when people got to check out, y'all are adding supplies, extra linens and baby oil and what? We need to know what hotel this was. What are the names of these hotels? And who was behind all of this? All of them needs to go down. I'm sorry, baby. I'm going to be honest with you. Even the hotel workers, baby, if you wasn't a part of the team that was trying to tell and get away to tell, and you were actually getting paid and was willing to add these extra things, you as a hotel worker know damn well it shouldn't be no lubricant, baby oil, and all of that. So you know what's happening. You need to go down too. I don't give a damn. Y'all need to go down. And to be honest with you, the only place that I see hell or life in jail. That's all I see. Hell or life in jail. He's facing 20 years. He's already in his 50s. So technically, the way prison, baby, he already in his 50s. He's a dead man. In 20 more years, even if he get 20 years, that's a life sentence. You will perish. In that, like, hell or jail. Hell or jail. Lord, be with these victims that have anybody. Boy, I could really say some stuff. This is. Whew. I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is a lot. Everybody, if you need to take a breather, baby, just take a breather, because I had to. I know this is a lot. You know what I'm saying? We on page 7. We halfway through it, though, baby. All right? So just hold tight. And remember, at the end of the day, the hard part is over. They've been through this. They made it through this, the victims. You know, they made it through alive. And at the end of the day, we want to see to it that they get justice for this. We want to see to it that they get justice for this. The women and men that have suffered from this. Baby, this is for y'all. I am advocating for you. I want y'all to get justice for what these people, all of them, I don't care who it is, have done. They all need to go down. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in freak offs. So you mean to tell me you was putting hands and inflicting harm on them, forcing them to engage in this stuff? This is crazy. Combs maintained control over his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support. That's why Stevie J, allegedly, that's why Stevie J is so team him. Because don't this sound like the same SHIT to Stevie J we doing on Love and Hip Hop? Let me read that again. Combs maintained control over his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities. Ain't that the same type of Stevie J type of stuff he was doing, all of them, Jocelyn and all of them? Granting and threatening to withhold financial support, and by other coercive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating the victim's appearance, monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances during and separate from freak offs. Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihoods, including if they resisted participating in freak offs. Victims believed they could not refuse Combs' demands without risking their financial or job security without repercussions in the form of physical and emotional abuse. Combs also used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recordings that he made during freak offs as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of the victims. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including Combs security personnel, at times carried firearms. On more than one occasion, Combs himself carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including the victims of and witnesses to his abuse in or about March 2024 during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. Law enforcement seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, as well as a drum magazine. Baby, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Who does this sound like to y'all? To the old heads, like people from the 80s and 90s, baby. Who do this sound like to y'all? This don't sound like Nino Brown to y'all. This sound like New Jack City. This nigga thought he was Nino Brown. This nigga sound like Nino Brown in New Jack City, baby. This sound like this was really New Jack City in real time. Do you hear me? And baby, if you too young and you ain't never watched New Jack City, you definitely need your black card revoked. But if you ain't watched New Jack City, baby, go watch New Jack City and pay attention to all of this and come back and watch this video as you look at it after you watch New Jack City. Baby, this is crazy. Okay, let me continue. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise enable Combs control over victims by following his directions regarding financial payments to victims, advancing or suppressing the victims' career opportunities, and acquiring the controlled substances Combs used to keep the victims compliant. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise at times witness Combs' violence towards the victims or the victims' injuries caused by Combs without intervening. Instead, members and associates of the Combs enterprise help conceal the violence and abuse by, among other things, assisting Combs in monitoring and preventing victims from leaving locations such as hotels or Combs residence. These occasions including instances in which a victim was required to remain in hiding, sometimes for several days at a time, to recover from injuries Combs inflicted without being publicly observed. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise also assisted Combs in locating and contacting victims who attempted to flee his abuse. What? Wait. I'm going to read that again so I can make sure I'm understanding this clearly. Sometimes for several days at a time, to recover from injuries Combs inflicted without being publicly observed. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise also assisted Combs in locating and contacting victims who attempted to flee his abuse. You got to be effing kidding me. So you mean to tell me he's a sick man, for one. But to y'all that helped him go and capture, like, it's like reminding me of that scene from What's Love Got to Do with it, where Tina was trying to leave with her babies and she was trying to get away, and Ike found her right when she was about to get on that bus and started hitting on the head and stuff and forcing her to get back in. Like, this is what I'm visualizing. Y'all men, women, whoever were in cahoots with this, y'all need to go down. Because who is y'all mamas? I guess it's baffling to me to know that so many of y'all were actually raised and okay with doing this for whatever amount of money. I just hate that y'all were even able to be manipulated into feeding into something like this. Because remember, that's somebody's child that y'all doing this to, that y'all did this to. Somebody loved them people. Just like they love y'all. Just like when y'all asses go down, they're going to be so heartbroken to know that a lot of y'all participated in this. Somebody loved them people. That's somebody loved one that y'all done messed up like that. Let me continue. When employees witnesses to his abuse or others threaten Combs' authority or reputation, Combs and members and associates of the enterprises engage in acts of violence, threats of financial and reputational harm and verbal abuse. These acts of violence including kidnapping and arson. In addition, on multiple occasions, Combs through both objects and people, as well as hit, drag, choke, and shove others. When Combs' authority or reputation was threatened by the possibility of negative publicity or legal or law enforcement action against him, including in or about late 2023, following public allegations of Combs' crimes, Combs and members and associates of enterprise pressured witnesses and victims, including through attempted bribery, to stay silent and not report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. On phone calls, Combs and other members and associates of the enterprise, among other things, provided these victims and witnesses with a false narrative of events in an effort to conceal Combs' crimes. Combs caused these calls to be recorded on at least 2 occasions. Baby, you're going down. Y'all are sick. it's the tactics, the manipulation tactics, and the mind control, the control that y'all put over them and the fear that y'all inflicted into them is just sick. So now this is the racketeering conspiracy. From at least in or about 2008 through on or about the date of the filing of this indictment in the Southern District of New York of elsewhere, Sean Combs, P. Diddy, the defendant, and others known and unknown being persons employed by and associated with the Combs enterprise described in paragraphs 6 through 12 of this indictment, an enterprise engaged in and the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly combined, conspired, confederated, and agreed together and with each other to violate the racketeering laws of the United States, to wit, Title 18 United States Code Section 1962C, that is to conduct and participate directly, indirectly in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity as the term is defined in Title 18 United States Code Section 19611 and 19615, consisting of multiple acts involving kidnapping, chargeable under the following provisions of state law: California Penal Code 207, kidnapping; California Penal Code 21A 664, attempt; California Penal Code 31, aiding and abetting; and California Penal Code 182, conspiracy. Oh my God. Multiple acts involving, I'm sorry, y'all. This is just a very sad time to read, to know that human beings will actually do other human beings, innocent people like this. This is sick. Okay. Multiple acts involving arson, arson. Is that from what's the name that said that who is that they said car got blew up? He blew somebody's car up allegedly. Y'all remember that? I can't remember his name right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Multiple acts involving arson, chargeable under the following provisions of state law: California Penal Code 451, arson; California Penal Code 21A 664, attempt; California Penal Code 31, aiding and abetting; and California Penal Code 182, conspiracy. Multiple acts involving bribery, chargeable under the following provisions of state law: California Penal Code 137A, bribery of a witness; California Penal Code 21A 664, attempt; California Penal Code 31, aiding and abetting; and California Penal Code 182, conspiracy. Multiple acts, I'm sorry, y'all. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18 United States Code Section 1512 related to tampering with a witness, victim, or informant. Baby, let me tell you something. Who do you think you are? Damn. God damn. You even trying to, you finding out who the informants are, people that's willing to help to bring you to justice. And baby, you mean to tell me you think that you have so much power that you are willing to go at them? Every dog has their day, baby. It don't, like, life doesn't work like that. All these years, boy. Oh boy. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18 United States Code Section 1512 related to tampering with a witness, victim, or an informant. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18 United States Code Section 1589 and 2 relating to forced labor. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18 United States Code Section 1591 and 2 relating to sex trafficking, and multiple acts indictable under Title 18 United States Code Section 2421, 2422, and 2 relating to transportation and inducement to travel for purposes of prostitution and other illegal sexual activities. And baby, wait, relating to transportation and inducement to travel for purposes of prostitution and other illegal sexual activities. Is that what I'm thinking that means? That these people were drugged? Is that they were drugged so y'all could be able to traffic them? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I can't. I'm not. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I guess that's my Cancer side, y'all. I'm an emotional person. I'm not one of the people that can. It's hard for me to. I'm a visual person, so when I'm reading something, even when I read books in prison, I'm one of them people. That's why I love reading them novels in prison, because they used to be my escape. Because I'm one of them, I'm visualizing this as I'm reading it, and that's what I think is kind of messing me up. So I need to kind of dial it back and let me try to finish this. Okay. Multiple offenses involving the possession of intent to distribute or distribution of narcotics and controlled substances, including cocaine, oxycodone, alprazolam, 3, 4. I don't even know what that is, y'all. Tell me what is alprazolam? 3, 4, methamphetamine, 4, bromo, 2, dimethoxyphetamine. I don't know what them drugs are. Lord Jesus. Gamma hydroxybutyric acid, ketamine, and violation of Title 21 United States Code Sections 841A, 1B, 1C, B1E, B2, and 846, distribution and possession with intent to distribute, and conspiracy to do the same. And Title 18 United States Code Section 2, aiding, abetting, and willfully causing. 14, it was a part of the conspiracy. The Sean Combs, P. Diddy, the defendant, agreed that a conspirator would commit at least 2 acts of racketeering activity in the conduct of the affairs of Combs' enterprise. Lord Jesus, your time has come, sir. All of y'all are going down. All of y'all. Notice of special sentencing factor. Okay, so we're getting to the end. We on page 11, y'all. Okay, so from at least in or about 2009 up to and including in or about 2018 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, as part of his agreement to conduct and participate in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity, Sean P. Diddy, the defendant, agreed to, in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, advertise, maintain, patronize, and solicit by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion as described in Title 18 United States Code Section 1591E2, and any combination of such means would be used to cause the person to engage in a commercial sex act in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1591A1 and B1, Title 18 United States Code Section 1962D. I think that as I'm reading this it's very important that parents make sure that y'all love y'all children, y'all daughters, y'all sons. Make sure that y'all really love on them, show them that they are loved at the end of the day, and they can always come home and, count on y'all for that support. Count 2, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Victim 1. The grand jury further charges from at least in or about 2009 up to and including in or about 2018 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, aka Diddy, the defendant, in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, obtained, advertised, maintained, patronized, and solicited by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion as described in Title 18 United States Code Section 1591E2, and any combination of such means would be used to cause the person to engage in a commercial sex act and attempt, aided and abetted, and willfully cause the same, to which Combs recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, and maintained a person, victim 1, and attempted, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused victim 1 to engage in commercial sex act, knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that victim 1 was engaging in commercial sex act as a result of force, fraud, and coercion. Title 18 United States Code Section 1591A1B1, 1594A and 2. Count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution. The grand jury further charges from at least in or about 2009 up to and including in or about 2024 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, Diddy, the defendant knowingly transported an individual in interstate and foreign commerce with intent that the individual engaged in prostitution and attempted, aided, and abetted it, and willfully caused the same. To wit, Combs transported, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused the transportation of female victims, plural, more than one, and commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions with the intent that they engaged in prostitution. You're sick. You need to burn in hell. Title 18, United States Code, Section 24218 and 2. Forfeiture allegations. As a result of committing the offense alleged in count 1 of this indictment, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, the defendant shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 1963 any and all interests the defendant acquired or maintained in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1962 any and all interest in securities of claims against and property or contractual rights of any kind affording a source of influence over the enterprise named and described herein, which the defendant established, operated, controlled, conducted, and participated in the conduct of in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1962 and any and all property constituting and derived from proceeds obtained directly and indirectly said offense, including but not limited to a sum of money in United States currency representing the amount of proceeds traceable to the commission of said offense. Baby. As a result of committing the offense alleged in count 2 of this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 1594 any and all property, real and personal, involved in use or intended to be used to commit or facilitate the commission of said offense, and any and all property traceable to such property, any and all property, real and personal, constituting or derived from proceeds obtained directly or indirectly as a result of said offense, including but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing the amount of property involved in said offense, and proceeds traceable to the commission of said offense. As a result of committing the offense alleged in count 3 of this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, shall forfeit the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 2428 and any and all property, real and personal, constituting or derived from proceeds obtained directly or indirectly as a result of said offense, and any and all property, real or personal, that was used or intended to be used to commit or facilitate the commission of said offense. Baby, give me all of that. They want all of that. All of that. We season all of that, baby. You unleash it all. We want everything. And all property, real and personal, that constitutes or is derived from proceeds traceable to the commission of said offense, including but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing the amount of proceeds traceable to the commission of said offense. Substitute assets provision. This is the end, and we're on 14, y'all. If any of the above described forfeitable property as a result of any act of omission of the defendant, A, cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, B, has been transferred or sold to or deposited with a third person, C, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, D, has been substantially diminished in value, or E, has been commingled with other property which cannot be subdivided without difficulty. It is the intent of the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 1963M, Title 21 United States Code Section 853P, and Title 28 United States Code Section 2461C to seek forfeiture of any property of the defendant up to the value of the above forfeitable property. That last part, the substitute assets provision, it brought me back to what I was talking to my mom about last night. Y'all remember when they said they had traced that plane, one of his planes? He wasn't on it, but it was one of his planes. They had traced it I think it was around the time, if I'm not mistaken, it was around the time when they was seizing that home in Los Angeles, I think. And when they was, and that plane they was tracing, it was like going to an island or something. Like, baby, that's what this made me. It reminds me of, like, baby, they covered all tracks. It's crazy because y'all remember when people were saying that the feds was on him. Didn't they release a statement or something, like saying like that they did not have an investigation going on, like in relation to him? And people was in the comments saying, yeah, see, that's what y'all get. Y'all want to see that black man go down so bad, baby. The feds are smart. They not gonna let they right hand know what they left hand doing. They smart. They know without a shadow of a doubt they had to make sure they had this shit solid. And they could make sure they had I'm talking about every stone touched, every I dotted, and every T crossed, baby. This is for the victims. I want y'all to know that anybody that was able to sit through this, I'm not even gonna really do no editing in this. I'm gonna let this just be as raw as it is, because at the end of the day, this is for those victims, the people that you have caused so much turmoil to, the women, the men. I just really pray to God that y'all get the justice that y'all deserve. I pray to God that this can finally give y'all a sense of peace, a sense of relief, because this is just extremely sick. And I pray to God that every last one of y'all that participated and helped this man do this stuff, I pray to God that God does what he see fit for all of y'all. I pray that God's will be done. I feel like you have to be a extremely sick individual to help participate, indulge in anything like this with people and bring harm to them, to go and try to track them down, people that's trying to escape or get away from y'all. Like, this is crazy. Y'all are y'all are monsters. All of y'all are monsters. And I know that God wants us to forgive, but I feel like to the victims, this is probably going to be hard for them to forgive. I feel like it's okay if it's hard for them, because they're living and dealing with this. I feel more so sorry on Diddy's side, not even for his sons and them. I feel sorry for his daughters, because those are young black girls, and those young black ladies, they're innocent. They don't have anything to do with this. That's their dad, and they love their dad, and it's just sad that this had to play out at a time when they are just growing into womanhood. It's sad, because now they're gonna always be connected to their father. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, we are seeing enterprise, as he called it. We are seeing the dismantle. We are seeing the whole thing just come down. And I honestly would say I wish him the best, but that would be a lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't wish him the best. I pray that whatever God see fit, whatever justice looks like for those victims, whatever God see fit to be done, let it be done. Let it be done. Like I said, now I feel like a lot of us are scared for what's to come and who he's gonna take down with him, because we've all heard the names of others, that's allegedly been involved. We've all heard the names, but I don't think he's gonna go down by himself. I don't know if y'all remember, I did a video on when I was doing something when there was some other tea going on with him, and I was saying I don't see him go. He gonna crash out and he's gonna unalive himself. I feel like that still. I feel like as this start going to trial, this is going to be very long. I'm going to let y'all know that right now. It's going to be long. So people that's supposed to get ready to start saying, I'm tired of hearing about that. I'm tired. That's how you know you don't know nothing about how the court and law works. You might as well get ready, because this is going to be long. It's not going to be fast at all. It's going to be long. I'm even an impatient person when it comes to trial and all that. That's why when I called my case, I decided to not go to trial by jury, and I did a PSI trial, because it's a long process, baby. It can take up to 2 years. It's a long process. So if you one of the people that's gonna be online talking about, I'm tired of hearing it, you might as well get ready, baby, or turn your phones off and all that, because it's a process. When you talking about trial, he got to go through. It's a bunch of steps he gonna have to go through, and he got to pick out his jury. Baby, this is gonna be a process, and it's gonna be a very big. Like I said, this is gonna be bigger than OJ. This Thugger trial, Bill Cosby, this is going to be bigger than all of them. Watch what I tell you. It is. This is going to be, because I feel like he is going to take down so many other people. It's going to be so many other big wigs and surprises that we are going to be hearing about with different celebrities, that this is going to be mind-blowing. And they going to be getting charged. This is going to be mind-blowing. But like I said, we do, everybody, now this is not for just my black women and black men supporters that are with me on this and are all up for protecting black women and black men, gay black men that are victims to stuff like this, like, by all means, I thank y'all for riding with me through this and doing this. I wanted to make sure I'm gonna definitely be still touching on this. Like, I know I touch on, like, we be on the Braxtons and all of that, but I be liking to get into pop culture and, you know, like the entertainment and stuff like this. And I would appreciate if y'all continue to support me through all of this too. I know certain things y'all like and y'all don't like. I tried them out, like with that Zeus Network stuff. I tried that one episode I did. I was like, my demographic, my most of my supporters, the women and men, they between 35 and 44. That's like my, you know, like what the age bracket for most of my audience. I'm like, baby, they don't want to be on that. I'm like, maybe that's for somebody young. So like, I get it, I get y'all. But I thank you guys for supporting me. I really appreciate y'all. Like I said, we're gonna continue to keep covering this. Because at the end of the day, we want the victims to get justice. The black men, the black women, the Hispanic and Latino women in the community, Mexican women and men, Latino men, all of y'all, anybody that has been a victim of any of this, anybody that's been a victim of sexual assault or the R word, anything like that, that has experienced stuff like this, and this is triggering to them, even hearing and listening to stuff like this, I want you to know that at the end of the day, God is in control, okay? And no matter what it may look like, the enemy can confuse you to a point where you can be so messed up mentally that you believe that those monsters are superior and they won't ever see justice, and you won't ever see justice, and them getting called to the forefront for the heinous things that they have done to y'all. But I promise you, baby, I always resort back to this clip that T.S. Madison always used to say, where she says, everybody that's working getting paid. Some of y'all putting in hell of a overtime. Some of y'all putting in mean overtime. And when that payday come, it's going to be a hell of a paycheck you're going to get. And I always think about that when I look at stuff like this. Everybody that's working getting paid, baby. This man has done a lot of stuff for years and years, okay? He's done a lot of stuff. And it's been all these years and all of these speculations and allegations that was put out. And now look, here we are. This is what, 20, 30 years. No telling what else is going to come forth. You know, they saying allegedly he's going to probably be tied to this stuff with Tupac, with the Tupac murder. No telling, y'all, with Biggie. No telling, it's so much that's probably going to become unfolded. On top of this, I don't think that man will ever see the light of day again after this. That's my prediction. What are y'all's? I want y'all to tell me, what are y'all's? I don't see him ever seeing the light of day again. As a free man, after this is over with. I ain't talking about if he get bonded out right now and during the proceedings of this. I'm saying my predictions is that he, just as well as R. Kelly, they won't ever see the light of day out here again. I feel like they will perish in prison. That's my, I feel like that. So y'all drop down in the comments below. Y'all tell me what y'all think, how y'all feel about this, and we can kind of have a discussion. Tell me if y'all, if y'all like and y'all want me to continue keep covering this, and if y'all got some other things that's going on in entertainment or pop culture that I ain't really been up on that I might have missed, let me know. But I love you guys. I thank y'all for supporting me so much. Make sure that y'all continue to like and subscribe. Also make sure that you have your notifications turned on so you can be notified whenever I drop another banger like this. I love y'all. Peace.